Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So here we are, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, live event, Operation Amber Sky, full review. There's a lot to get into. There's a lot of things on my mind. I hope I can remember everything. I don't really script these things. I have some bullet points that I wrote down so I could try to make sure I nail each and every topic that I want to discuss. But I'm probably just going to sit here and talk and maybe edit it out. So be prepared for a long video, long review. Let's get into it. First and foremost, shout out to everybody who came by the live stream. I love you guys. It's so much fun live streaming and just kicking it with the community. Shout out to A Squad Gaming who stopped by. We did a little co-op play. That was fun. Overall, I had a really fun day the 2 days that I did stream the game. So, first and foremost, right? We have this new live event. Let's talk about the main mechanic, the gas mechanic. Now, as far as the mission structure, or not so much the mission structure, as far as the story structure, I feel like just everything goes right out the window. I'm not sure if Ubisoft Paris knows what they're even doing with this IP anymore and with this game. Basically, what we had with Trey Stone, with them wanting to gas the United States. I guess since we took out that power structure, this Amber Sky or whatever, this type of gas that was released on Aroa, so they could somehow not be bothered with anybody as they're doing their business. So they decided to gas Aroa, so it kind of gives them cover. I don't know, but the mechanic itself, I guess it was cool. Ubisoft Paris sat there and did make something new for their Anvil Next engine, which is this type of gas mechanic. I don't recall any type of mechanic being in this game. I might forget whether it was Wildlands or whatnot. But I guess the mechanic was cool. Maybe it was a little too dense in some parts. I found myself the majority of the time playing with, thank God I rolled out with the Pathfinder class. I recommend, if you haven't really played it much, regardless what class you might like to play, I would roll out with the Pathfinder class. It gives you one more type of night vision, that hot cold type of night vision, and that really helped for a lot of the areas, especially breaching, where the night vision or the thermals kind of get really skewed with brightness. The Pathfinder thermal really worked well. So the gas mechanic was cool, I guess. Having to change out your filter, something like that. I don't know if this is the best they could do for a Ghost Recon game. I'm really not sure if they were building this out for something else, and so they're using it now. Uh, it is what it is. I had fun with it. I think it gave an extra mechanic in the game that made you feel like, oh shit, whether you ran out of gas filters or you had to get to one of the gas filter stations to change up. It was kind of cool. So whatever, kudos for them to making something new like the gas mechanic. As far as the breaching, and I want to hit this first and foremost. Here's the one issue I have with breaching. I thought the breaching was absolutely fun. It's just like the network stations in Ghost Recon Wildlands. But here's what I want to really convey to Ubisoft Paris, and hopefully, I wasn't rambling too much where I could grab the attention of someone who might just happen to click on this video like, oh look, this guy's reviewing it, let's see what he has to say. The Ubisoft developers need to stop creating things for a game that is specific to some type of game mode. Now, what I mean by this is that, okay, look, we understand the Terminator event, right? You could only play that game mode, Terminator's running around. The Rebel event, okay, we get it. The gas, those are the main features, right? You don't want to have gas on the island at all times. All right. But the breach system, this system that was developed now for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, this system should be all over the island and should not be tied to just the Amber Sky live event. It would bring so much more variety now to be running around in free roam in the normal world of the game and be able to see these breach houses. Now, hell, I could be wrong, because now that I think about it, I haven't even shut the Amber Sky event off to see if those breach houses are there. Maybe I should have done that first. But if they're not, case in point, what I'm really trying to convey here, I hope Ubisoft does not develop like this in the future anymore, where they keep making things but they're so separated that that you could only play this or that or that or this. It's a very weird way to develop things. At least now we can go back after since the last title update, we can go back and play these game modes, but the breaching was really fun. I just wish something like that was all over the island and not just a couple of them here for this live event. Now, let's get into mission structure. The mission structure, a lot of people might disagree with me here, and a lot of the people who stop by the live stream who see me having fun, they might think that if I say the I like it was like a 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, or it doesn't mean that in the back of my mind I still don't think that this shit is all wrong. What I mean by this is that Ubisoft seems to really be pushing Ghost Recon into a Sam Fisher Splinter Cell game. Now, I don't mind. I know there are community members of mine that don't mind. They really love the stealth aspect and love stealth games. I love stealth games as well. But does anyone realize that Ubisoft does not design anything for actual Ghost Recon-ish feelings? What I mean by that is there's never ever a time where you're like ambushing things or setting things up in a way where targets have to be ambushed in a way where you have to use your team, and everything really relies on this single entity, which is Nomad, really like stealthing into an area while either you shut your teammates off or they just follow you and don't get seen because of the way it's programmed. There's never a point of time where it's like you have to sit back, use your binoculars or your drone or whatever to get info, and then maybe ambush a convoy and get intel from that like little things like that. I feel like are really missing from the Ghost Recon uh mission structure. It really feels more like Paris has really pushed this game more towards the Splinter Cell feel, where you're not really an operator out in the field with a squad, where you're a lethal force. You're more this kind of one man solid snake army. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but it might be bad for Ghost Recon because now Ghost Recon is kind of losing its entity of what it is. I'm hoping moving forward that Ubisoft understands that the most important part of this franchise, in my opinion, is it being a squad based tactical shooter. Squad based. The enemy controls are atrocious. I read in the patch notes they were somehow fixed or whatnot. I'm sorry, enemy controls. The AI controls, they're atrocious. They're terrible. Tell them move here, hold here, open fire. No matter what you tell these teammates, they just run around. They move. Hold here. One guy goes that way, one guy runs all the way that way, and another guy runs all the way this way or that way. Do you know 10 out of 10 times my 6 is never covered? Never. Do you know how many breach missions I had to do over and over and over again after telling my team, stay right here in front of the door? And the breach missions, how the wolves spawn? You know how many times I went into the building and had my team stay outside and the wolves walked right in behind me? There's no rhyme or reason to having these teammates. The AI teammates need to be complete. The code for them needs to be completely deleted. They need to be redone from the ground up. If you can't tell your teammate to hold here while they open fire and they just sit there and open fire, if you can't control them individually, you might as well have one teammate. Forget the 3 of them. It boggles my mind how they think this passes for anything that remotely good. So I had a real problem with wanting to do a lot of things with my AI teammates because I want to control them in a manner that suits a Ghost Recon title. Now, as far as the AI teammates with their bonuses, shooting rockets or uh, destroying drones or healing me, I guess those little things are cool. I really think the healing mechanic was dumb. I really think that the graphic that was on my screen was dumb. I feel like I'm playing World of Warcraft half the time. If I get shot and then I get a heal out of nowhere, it's like broom, like a priest healed me. It's just these mechanics do not suit Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and I hope Ubisoft Paris understands this. You know, people are looking for an authentic feel, and it could still be a video game. You could still make video game systems, video game mechanics, but they have to be based within the reality of what game we're playing, which is a Ghost Recon Tom Clancy title. So when I'm sitting there and I get shot and now all of a sudden I'm getting healed, I feel like I really feel like I'm playing World of Warcraft. Like I'm the warrior and I have a priest behind me that'll just toss a heal on me every time I get shot. It's silly. Uh so that was it. That's it for that. Let me move on. So the stealth missions, like I said, I feel like there needs to be more Ghost Recon type of missions, ambushes. There just never a point of time where you have to set your teammates and tell them to open fire on something, which it would suck anyway because you tell them to open fire on a convoy and they'd run 50 directions to shoot whatever the hell. So, but that was my point for that. The stealth missions were fun, right? I had some issues with the MI6 mission. I had I had grabbed the MI6 guy. I put him in a car. I went and tagged the gas canisters, and then I came back and the MI6 guy got out of the car and was just roaming around and messed me up. So that was silly. I eventually beat that mission, so that was the biggest pain in the ass mission for me, but it was a stealth mission. Uh the mission where the woman buyer, the Asian woman, where she was buying, you had to tail her, and then you drove and tailed her. Uh, I could. It was a cool mission, but I could really do without missions where me as an operator behind enemy lines, I have to get in a car and tell someone. It just makes no sense to me. I'm better off, in my opinion, Ubisoft is better off designing it to where you hear, right? Because we went in there, we listened to the convo, and then it was okay, she's going over there. Go get there and then gather intel and see what she's doing. Realistically, that's what would happen. And whether they can design things to finally stop being mission over or not. I guess that all depends on them. What I mean by that is, why does it always have to be a mission where if you don't do something specifically, it's mission over and you redo it? Is it that hard? Is it that hard to have it to where here, you either do something successfully or you fail? And then this breaches off into this, and this breaches off into this. Then, after you do those, they can breach back to the same thing. Like, it's not that complicated, especially for anyone who's used Assassin's Creed Odyssey story creator that Ubisoft has created for us to make our own missions in Assassin's Creed. If the mission designers at Ubisoft Paris are using any type of software that's similar to that, why can't we get more missions that aren't just mission failed? Why can't we fail a mission and then we have to suffer the consequences of that by going down a different path to get to the end of this live event, or to get to the end of the story? There needs to be way more things like that, because half the time, you can do something over and over and over and over and over again, and it gets to the point where it's like, all right, I'm just going to try to cheese through this, or now it's just boring. I think we can get to the point where software developers are thinking outside the box when it comes to mission design and how they're going to structure when they build something, because as far as like the console wars and new hardware coming out, I really don't think it matters that PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are out if this is the type of software we get moving forward. Like, game developers really need to, I think, move above and beyond of mission structures like this where you fail something and you have to restart. Like, let's move past that. Let's get organic with it. Let me fail the mission and let it go. Let that take me on a different path to where it can go back to where we still get to the same place at the end, but maybe it's a few different ways to do something. And then if people know that's how the game is structured, they'll want to actually play it again to see how the game works when you don't fail the mission. That's one way to look at it. But, that might be asking for too much for Ubisoft Paris, but it is what it is. I think we should get to the point where we move past, mission failed, do it again. Rockstar does that too. So, but yeah, as far as the that Asian lady's mission, I just, get to a car and trail them. It's just a little silly for me, but that's nitpicking. The roof parachute mission, that was fun. I know a lot of people might not have done it the way I did it. They were trying to land fucking helicopters on it, I guess, but people were trying to do it different ways. I just flew a helicopter all the way up into the sky, jumped down, I parachuted onto this shit. I thought that was the best way to do it. That was a fun mission though, and then we get into a plane. There's now a plane in the game, just like Wildlands, and we fly to this area. The wolves the wolves spawning after that mission when they all spawn on that runway. Here's the issue I have with that, and it might be the way they have trigger events to where enemies spawn from certain locations. Maybe they should add more, and however many counts you have there can be the same amount of enemies. But my problem with that at the end was that, did the developers not realize that wolves, you were on a runway, right? Here, this camera's the entire runway, make pretend, right? And we were basically shooting guys from here, and maybe a few guys came from here, but at no point in time was the entire line, pushed by wolves, these supposed ex ghosts, right? Now this is just bad game design. I literally killed half of the guys who came from one little area. They all funneled out from over the hill, and I just killed them over and over. When you're designing a mission, in my opinion, especially one like this, and you have an entire hill where we could be flanked even, make it difficult. And this goes back to the fact that the AI is programmed so bad, because I can't have my AI watch certain sectors. But at the very least, a lot of those wolves should have came from the entire hill over, instead of one little area, two little areas. But that was still a fun mission. I had a good time, whatever. There were a lot of missions, like I said, you had to do stealth and you had to tag all these containers. After the 10 or so missions, they were basically what, like 3 or 4 basic missions that were just repeated over and over again. Bottom line is, I had fun doing them. It's just that there's just something missing at the end of the day for it being a Ghost Recon title. You know? This is why I think so many people enjoyed Wildlands. When you needed resources and you had to ambush health convoy, or any types of convoys. Some of them had a couple cars, some of them had choppers. You kind of felt like you were behind enemy lines doing what maybe soldiers would do, which is cause chaos and destruction and ambush this and ambush that. You don't get any of that in Breakpoint. And now with your AI teammates, maybe there should be more missions like that where you had to ambush a convoy, or gather intel here without actually infiltrating. You just got to get 100 meters, use your binoculars, get that intel, go over here, ambush this. And instead, it was just like, Sam Fisher, you're waiting to here, do this. Sam Fisher, you're waiting to here, do that. Sam Fisher, you're waiting to here and do that. The Like I said, the parachute one was cool, but even that one, everything is very stealth Sam Fisher. This game basically could have been a Splinter Cell, and I was talking about that with Matt, one of my community members. He was saying, he had a really good time because, he loves Splinter Cell. And that's what this game feels like at this point. Moving forward, I'm rambling at this point. Weapons, the rewards. I thought the rewards were awesome. If you were in my live stream, I was blasting people with the shotty. Wasn't even caring about stealth half the time. I was just having fun blasting everybody away with the shotguns, whether it was the underbarrel shotgun or the shotgun reward weapon. I was using both of them. They're both so much fun. The underbarrel shotgun is OP. Oh my god, that thing just do. You could just shoot all four. Was it 4 shots, 6 shots? I forget. In sequence, in like under a second or two. It's just like pop, 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 real fast. It's got kickback. So if you start at someone's legs and just do, you will wet their whole body up and they will be destroyed. I can't wait. I hope moving forward, developers give us the option for more gore and just more uh limbs being blown off. I would love, we get that in Red Dead and other games. I would love to shoot one of these dudes in the head with a shotgun and watch their whole head evaporate. That would be amazing. So even if it was just an option, if they want to keep gore to a minimum for the kiddies, even though this game should be M17 anyway, I really hope we get that in the future. Because man, using a weapon like the shotgun, I would love to see limbs get blown off. I was using the K1A. I was using that gun a lot. That felt good. the little snub nose handgun that fired like shotgun shells. Oh my god, that was amazing, blasting people with that. Overall, the weapons were good. The skins, the three skins you get for free were cool, and the skins in the store were cool as well. Not my cup of tea, really. Not they're very like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't know, vibrant, or they're very loud. A lot of the skins are loud. I guess like the yellow girl and Jaeger, with his motorcycle helmet. I like Twitch. She looks cool. So a couple of them look all right, but the skins were all right. It's hey, for people who like skins, for people who like Rainbow Six, it's a well added addition to the store. Even though you do have to pay for them, I think at $5 a skin, I don't think that's anything to be upset at, especially if you're still playing the game. I do understand for people like myself who have the gold edition, but gold edition, I'm sorry, who have the Wolves edition behind me, and I paid a lot for the game. I still think $5 for a new skin for a live event, or if a year two comes out and more skins are added, I still think that's cool. In my opinion, I think that's the way Ubisoft should go. Looking at the Fortnite model, I don't think Ubisoft should be worrying about loot crates and microtransactions for weapons. I think they should focus just on how many skins can we make that we could just pump out over and over and over again for people to buy at $5 a pop. And I think it's way better that way. So, anyway, let's see. At that point, so we covered everything, and yeah, so overall, I enjoyed the live event. If I would have played it offline, right, and not interacting with anyone in the community or not playing with anyone, like I said, when A Squad swung by, we had fun, we just bugging out. It's fun to do shit like that. That makes things a lot more fun. I wouldn't argue with anybody who said this was 5 out of 10. I give this live event a 5 out of 10. I wouldn't even argue with you because it's like, you're not wrong, really. I could see this live event for a lot of people just being average. Why? Just like what I said, a lot of the missions are like a rinse, wash, repeat. You get a few breach ones, you get a lot of ones where you have to sneak in and tag containers. At no point did we really have to fight anything, right? Which was kind of my point before. We don't have to ambush any convoys. We just gathered intel like Sam Fisher almost, right? So there's no, I don't know, maybe a lot of people didn't find this meaty enough. I guess the only action we got were those breach missions, which kind of broke up the monotony of the stealth missions, which was kind of a good way of building out the live event. But if you gave it a 5, a 6, whatever, I think, hey, whatever. I wouldn't argue. Me personally, I think it's probably a 7 out of 10. I would give the entire live event. I had a good time playing it. I like the fact that you could see more mechanics being added, the breach mechanics with the breach buildings, and the fact that we had to get filters for our masks. Hopefully they could incorporate this somehow moving forward into other little things. I think it would be cool if certain missions had the gas mask thing where perhaps you have the ability to put it on yourself, or if you get, maybe enemies could use gas bombs like how uh the assault class has gas grenades. You gotta try to tie when you build all these mechanics out, which is what I was trying to my point before. All these mechanics are built out, but they're really not utilized correctly. For instance, like the breach mechanics now, they should be all over the island. This gas mechanic, why can't enemies throw gas grenades? And we have a button where we have to use it and make sure that we have gas filters on us just in case. I don't know, little things, that's just the top of my head because Ubisoft Paris at this point I feel like is building out all these things, but they're not being utilized all, throughout the entire game. Almost like how we felt like they were in Wildlands. The network stations were everywhere. All those rebel missions, they were all over the map. It wasn't just, oh, I have to go to this live event. This world parameter has to be activated for me to do this. This has to be activated for me to do this. And that's the type of design that they just made for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I would have much more preferred the rebels, right? Their mainland is all the way in the southern island. I would have much rather the rebel event had taken place across the southern islands, and that's always going on now. Every time I go to the south, you can see the rebel event going on. As far as the Terminator event, I understand that being its own event because that shit doesn't have any place in Ghost Recon. That's more like, hey, we did a little Terminator thing because of the movie. Here's a little event you could actually play just specifically that event going on right now. All right, cool. I understand that. But as far as building out a story, the Rebel War should still be going on, right? That's part of the story. So what happened? The Rebel event happened and then it ended. Did they gain any ground? No, because apparently right after that we had the what was it, Boat Arc? And now we have uh Amber Sky. So where are the rebels now? What did the Rebel event lead to? A lot of these things they just don't make sense. So I hope moving forward in the next game they could really figure out how they're going to design their story and their missions because this is kind of just like it's like a bag of trail mix. You have nuts and chocolate and raisins and it's just all mixed and matched and I don't, none of it makes sense, but I guess it's kind of good when you eat it. Even though this is like I don't know. Anyway, we'll go a half hour now. So rambling for a half an hour. What else is there that I want to talk about? Yo, I think that's it, man. That's really it. I spoke about the gas mechanics, the mission structure. I spoke about the weapons. I spoke about the character skins. I think that's it. Uh, I don't have. I know I'm missing things. I know there are things I want to talk about, but whatever. It is what it is at this point. I think you guys get the idea. Whatever. Let me know what you thought. How did you enjoy it? I look on the forums. I know a lot of people weren't liking it, and I don't disagree with them. I think they have every right to be like, "What the hell is going on at Ubisoft?" And is this the best? Is this like the best shit they could design right now? I'm trying to figure out. Is this an engine issue or a personnel issue at this point? Right? Is this the best this engine can spit up at us, or is this the best Ubisoft Paris can create? Like, do you guys need more C++ programmers so you can build more things in Anvil Next specifically for Ghost Recon? Do you need better mission designers? Do you have a lot of junior developers on your team where a lot of the senior guys are maybe making the next game and you have kind of like a B team working on Breakpoint, kind of learning Anvil Next and creating this stuff out? Because that's what it feels like, to be honest. It literally feels like I get a call from Ubisoft and they're like, "Hey, you're hired." And then I go there and for 6 months I, I learn a little C++, I learn how Anvil Next works. I start learning everything and, now I start building missions out. And it's like, "Okay, yeah, you're a junior dev at Ubisoft, work on Ghost Recon Breakpoint." So it's like, "Oh, okay, here's a mission. Go here and click a button and you'll do something on this canister and then go over here and click a button and do something on this canister and then run away." It's like that's it. That's the best you guys can do for these live events. It's almost like you're bankrupt when it comes to Ghost Recon ideas. But I know it's a tough industry. I would love to see the tools that these guys use to build this shit out. I keep saying I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and learn Unreal, but let me end this video before I keep going and say stupid shit and make myself look like a fool. I'm out of here. Everybody, let me know what you thought on everything. Let me know what you thought about the gas mechanics. Let me know what you thought about the mission structure. What was your favorite mission? What was your least favorite mission? Uh, what did you think about the weapons? What's your favorite new weapon? Do you like the new weapons? For me, I love the shotguns. They're really fun. Uh, did you purchase any character skins? What's your favorite character skin? Do you even care about Rainbow Six? I don't really know anything about Rainbow Six, but whatever. New character skins are always a welcomed addition, in my opinion, and it helps the company generate revenue. So maybe they can hire somebody who can get this shit in order. But that's all. Let me know in the comments how you feel. We'll discuss some things in the comments. Stop by a live stream during the week and we could talk, in real time. And that's it. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this. I am out of here. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all in the next video. God bless. Love you all. Peace out.
Good stuff.
Wait, what's that blue shit? What is that? Did she just heal me? Oh shit, she just healed me? Get this shit off my fucking screen, bro. What is this dumb shit? Fuck, bro. Who thinks of the... I'm sorry, did I kill you guys? Did I yell too much? Who thinks of this dumb ass shit, Ubisoft? You take my entire fucking screen with blue fucking ooze like I have a mana potion on me like I'm playing a fantasy game. Get that shit off my screen, dude. This is the exact shit that makes me think that the next game is going to be fucking retarded. Because they still add stupid ass shit. It's just me. It's just me. Don't mind me. I'm just a grumpy old man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Obviously, we want cool looking effects like that, right, guys? Obviously, that's what we want. I want to get, I want my teammate to go and toss a fucking magic heal at me that gives blue fucking shiny shit all over my screen. That's exactly what I want in my Ghost Recon game. Exactly.